Hello and Merry Christmas! Today we are going to be doing the Nutcracker Tag. Miriam actually tagged me in this and I'm thankful for that and I'm excited to do the tag. So let's go ahead. I decided to break out my Nutcracker mug for this occasion. It's such a cute mug. It's just got nutcrackers all the way around it. I think it's so fun. But yeah, there are 9 prompts, and once again, I did want to use books from my TBR shelf because it's kind of funny because as I was downstairs looking for the books that I wanted to use as answers for these prompts, it was like, it renewed excitement in me, and I was like, I want to read this one, I want to read this one, I just want to sit down and I want to read this one, you know? So that's a good feeling to have. So yeah, I think I might be revisiting the TBR shelf more often. So let's get started. Okay, the first question is, the Nutcracker takes place on Christmas Eve. Choose a book that takes place during Christmas time or that gives you those magical Yuletide vibes. So it's definitely not magical Yuletide vibes, but it takes place at Christmas time. So that's where I'm going with this one. And that is to share the spotlight with this monstera in my living room. Okay, it's my turn. Blood on the Holly. So this is a compilation of short stories of crime, Christmas mysteries, featuring members of crime writers of Canada and their friends. So yeah, it's a bunch of short stories of mysteries that happen around Christmas time. So I believe I read one a couple of years ago, but I really want to read more. So yeah, Christmas time, definitely not the whimsical, magical, nostalgic vibes. Definitely not that one. But question 2. In the ballet, an epic battle takes place between the Nutcracker and the Mouse King. Choose a book that has a great action and or adventure plot. So I am gonna go with, once again, a lot of these books were difficult to find because I've never read them before, so I'm just having to guess. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Across to Kill by Andrew Huff. This is a shepherd suspense novel. It is Christian suspense. It's blurbed by Lynette Eason, produced by Kriegel Publications. Can John Cross keep his vow of peace when killers come to call? So it's about this man who used to be an assassin for the CIA, has now decided to follow Christ and put aside killing people, so pledging to never kill again, and then he gets caught up in this big terrorist plot, and yeah, I assume he has to decide if he's going to still hold true to that pledge of not killing or kill in certain circumstances. I don't really know where this book is gonna go, but there's a trilogy and I have all 3, so looking forward to that. Number 3, the Nutcracker wouldn't be the same without Tchaikovsky's iconic score. Choose a book that involves music, musicians, or dancers. This was impossible to find, you guys. I'll give you a heads up right off the bat. 2 of the books that I've chosen are basically cheats. They have stretched the prompt so much that it's basically not even answering the prompt, but I had nowhere else to go. So I'm not really drawn to like musical plot devices, I guess. So I don't really pick those ones up. Or maybe there just aren't a lot of those out there. I don't know, you tell me. So my stretch of an answer is going to be The Lost Girl at Astor Street by Stephanie Morel. This one is about a missing kid, I believe. Maybe? I don't know. But it looks like one of the main characters' name is Piper. So Piper is a musician. It's a title for a musician. So we're gonna go with this. Such a stretch, but I really had nowhere else to go. So gonna read this one at some point. Number 4, the ballet changes locations when Clara and the Nutcracker travel from the bedroom to a magical land of sweets. Choose a book that transports the characters to a magical or unfamiliar realm. I was gonna go with The Game. So, The Game by Monica Hughes. Once you start, there's no turning back. This is, oh yes, it's a more futuristic dystopian, YA or middle grade? I think it's, yeah, it's teen. It's for teens. So this is in the year 2154, but I guess the general premise is these kids who are down on their luck in life, I suppose, are invited to participate in The Game, a virtual reality experience. So that's what I'm using for being transported into another world, realm type of thing. So we're gonna go with The Game. Number 5, upon arrival in the Land of Sweets, their first destination is an enchanted snowy forest. Choose a book that has a snowy, wintry atmosphere. We're gonna go with Into the Blizzard. I didn't read the back of this, but I mean, the cover and the title speak for themselves. This person is in a snowy blizzard. I rest my case. This book fits. So yeah, this is an old book. It is from 1971, and I'm actually looking forward to reading this one because it does have to do with finding, I guess, your faith and discovering God, as well as it's set in Manitoba, Canada, which, I mean, the Canadian prairies are not known for being chosen as book locations. So it's kind of interesting to read one that is. Number 6 is Clara and the Nutcracker present themselves before the court of the Land of Sweets. Choose a book that involves a royal court setting or that follows royal characters. For that, I've chosen A Word So Fitly Spoken, a Severed Realms book by T.A. Lawrence. I've never heard anything about this book. I found it at the thrift store or the dollar store and was intrigued because it's like YA fantasy. One stunning bride, one wedding, one night with the king, one execution come morning, rinse and repeat. So right off the bat it says, when the Fey King of Nanden returns home, yada yada. So he's a Fey King. So king, royalty. We're gonna go with this one. Let me know if you've read this one. I find the title a bit awkward, like A Word So Fitly Spoken. I don't know, I just don't like, fitly is not a very pretty word, I guess. I don't know, fitly sounds awkward to me. But the cover is beautiful and it's a nice big chunker and it's fantasy, so I'm hoping this is a good one. Number 7, one of the most memorable parts of the ballet are the series of dances representing different countries. Choose a book that takes place in a country far away from your own. This one was also difficult because, as I'm sure many of you would agree, most of the books that I own, and really that I tend to read, are located in the Americas. And because I'm in Canada, I can't really say America's a country far away from me. They're literally our neighbors. We share a border. It's not really far away. So I went with The Chinese Nail Murders by Robert Van Gulik. So I'm still trying to figure out what this is exactly. I think it's a series where each book kind of solves a problem or solves a murder, and it sounds like it's hard for me to figure out if this is inspired by a true judge's experience or if it's merely the fictional character. So it says Chinese mystery series based on historical court records. Detective Judge Lee is appointed to the magistrate of Peichao. So it sounds to me like these are based on real cases, but it's a fiction story, or is it not even fiction? Maybe it's true. I don't know. See, I'm not really sure what this is, but I'm curious enough to try it. Question 8. However, most people know these dances by the various treats they represent. Choose a book that involves food, baking, or cooking. Once again, similarly to the music prompt, I I don't know. I don't feel like there are a lot of books that like revolve around food. You know? Like the three classics that I can think of would be like The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, and really that doesn't really revolve around food, but they do mention food a lot. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland being the little eat me squares or cake or whatever it is. And then like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, because he's in a chocolate factory. But like as far as like non-classics, I don't know. I haven't read any, or that many at least. Nothing that I can really think of. So once again, we're gonna stretch the prompt because this was the first book on my TBR shelf that I found that mentioned food in the back summary. So because it says, he does know such skills as how to steal a loaf of bread to fill his belly, and on and on. So I guess we're gonna go with that one because it talks about a loaf of bread. You guys, such a stretch. So this is Crimson Tapestry by Michael R. Jones. #1 in the Twilight of the Gods. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know. It looks medieval, possibly fantasy. I'm into it, so let's try this one. And the last question. At the end of the ballet, the Sugar Plum Fairy and her prince dance an achingly romantic pas de deux. Choose a book that has a beautiful slow burn romance. Once again, this is from my TBR shelf, so I don't know. I thought maybe I would go with like a thicker book that I knew had some romance in it. That way, if it's thicker, you'd think maybe the romance takes longer, right? I don't know. That's just what I went with. So we're gonna go with Not Exactly Eden. It is a mass market paperback, but it also is 352 pages. So, I mean, I suppose if this was a regular size paperback, it'd be less pages, so it wouldn't be very thick. I digress. We're gonna go with this one. So Not Exactly Eden by Linda Windsor. This was a book that I remember reading as a teenager, but I have no idea what it's about. So I'm looking forward to rereading it at some point, probably for my May childhood vlogs. But yeah, looking forward to this one. I imagine there's gonna be some kind of slow burn romance. I don't know. But anyway, that is it for the Nutcracker book tag. Thank you so much, Miriam, for tagging me. This was fun. I really like talking about my TBR shelf, you guys. I don't know. It's fun to talk about my favorite books, but at the same time, it's also fun to talk about books I've never read before because they bring along some anticipation and excitement with them. So yes, this was fun. I don't think I'm going to tag anybody because I don't know how new this tag is, so people might have already done it. However, I will give a mention to Bethany at Bethany Brings Books because she is a lover of Nutcracker. She actually has a collection of the Nutcracker figurines, and she showed us on her YouTube channel her whole collection, so you guys should definitely check out that video and her channel. And if she hasn't done this tag before and she wants to, totally do it, Bethany. This was fun. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you in whatever comes next. Bye!